Welcome to our channel, dedicated to the fascinating world of wild animals. Today, we'll talk about an animal that everyone knows, but few people think about in detail. We'll discuss hedgehogs and why they carry spikes on their bodies. A hedgehog is not only a cute and harmless creature that is often associated with forests and gardens. It's a very clever and unique representative of the animal kingdom. And although its spikes may seem like a strange decoration at first, they actually serve a very important purpose in the life of these little animals. Let's explore why hedgehogs need spikes, how they appear, and what lies behind this natural phenomenon. The main function of spikes in hedgehogs is protection from predators. In the wild, predators are always on the lookout for easy prey, but a hedgehog with its sharp spines is not the kind of animal that is easy to attack. At first glance, it might seem that the spikes are just part of its appearance, like the quills of a porcupine or feathers of a bird. However, these are not just adornments. They are a genuine defense mechanism that has evolved over time. When a hedgehog feels threatened, it curls up into a ball and all of its spikes stand upright, creating a solid, prickly, and hard barrier for predators. These spikes are difficult to swallow or penetrate, making them a serious obstacle for predators such as foxes, wolves, or dogs. Even the porcupine, a relative of the hedgehog, uses a similar defense: its spikes. Interestingly, hedgehog spikes are not just ordinary fur. Over the course of evolution, they became specialized quills that originally served as protection. It all began when hedgehogs started living in areas with a high presence of predators, and they needed to develop defensive mechanisms. Over time, they began to grow short hair that became stiffer and longer. Eventually, these hairs transformed into spikes, which now serve as a natural defense. Hedgehog spikes are derived from their fur and are a modification of hair. This process began in the ancestors of modern hedgehogs about 50 million years ago. Unlike regular hair, hedgehog spikes grow from specialized follicles, and each spike serves a protective role. When a hedgehog senses danger, the muscles attached to these follicles immediately react, causing the spikes to rise, increasing both their length and stiffness. Hedgehog spikes are not just hard thorns. They are very sharp and can easily puncture the skin of a predator, and they tend to bend, making their removal even more difficult. Moreover, hedgehog spikes are tough and do not break easily. They are coated with a layer of keratin, similar to human nails. Additionally, each spike has a solid cylindrical structure, which makes it incredibly strong. It's worth noting that hedgehog spikes are not toxic. They do not contain venom, like some snakes or spiders. However, their prickly nature makes attacking a hedgehog highly unpleasant for any animal. Sometimes predators, like foxes, simply abandon their attempts to capture a hedgehog after encountering its sharp quills. Many people think that hedgehogs are covered only in spikes on their backs, but that's not the case. In reality, an adult hedgehog can have around 5,000 to 7,000 spikes that cover its back and sides. This number can vary depending on the species and age of the animal. Interestingly, hedgehogs are also covered in spikes on their tails, necks, and bellies. However, the spikes on their bellies are much softer and shorter, as this part of the body is used by the hedgehog when curling up into a ball. New spikes grow constantly, and old ones may fall out. This is a natural process, similar to shedding in other animals. At about 6 to 8 months of age, a hedgehog starts to replace its spikes, and by the time it reaches adulthood, it has fully renewed its spiky armor. When a hedgehog senses a threat, its response can vary, but usually it curls up into a ball. This instinctive defense mechanism activates immediately. However, a hedgehog doesn't always just curl up in a ball. Sometimes, if the threat is not too great, it might try to run away or crawl towards a safe hiding place. If a predator is too close, the hedgehog will be ready to use its spikes in defense. An important feature is that hedgehogs do not use their spikes as active weapons. They do not attack other animals, they simply defend themselves. This means that for a hedgehog, spikes are not an aggressive response but a reaction to danger. In addition to serving as protection from predators, spikes also perform other important functions. For example, they help hedgehogs retain heat. Like the fur of other animals, spikes create a barrier that helps protect the body from heat loss, especially in cold weather.